Well, my heart is full. And so I decided it was the right time to make the bigger announcement to the rest of you. So tonight, I invited clients from the very, very beginning to come join me for a little community event. And we did what we do, which is a little bit of story work. We used Wonka tonight. It was fun. And then I made the big announcement. And the big announcement is this: after 17 years, I started my business, True to Intention, 17 years ago. And it's been an amazing journey, realizing that True to Intention wasn't really just about getting books true to intention. It was about helping the messengers become true to intention. It was about helping them get back to who they were before the story happened to them, to reclaim and heal those parts of themselves through the writing process, through the process of being in community together as they were writing. And, after a few years of that, realizing that what they were doing for me was really never going to stop. And what they were doing for me was constantly bringing me the next message or the next morsel that I needed to save my own life, to heal my own story, to grow my business, to better my relationships. I mean, ridiculous how people showed up at the absolute perfect time for both them and for me, and how the process of partnering in the content development created this story magic that I couldn't have guessed was going to be the most beautiful thread of my career. Of course, a few years ago, that my son got very, 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 very tired of hearing me talk about how I was very tired of seeing clients who were in our cocoon, nurtured in such beautiful, caring, safe space, go out into the publishing industry and get kind of chewed up, at least disappointed, but oftentimes just not treated like they deserve to be treated. And their messages not treated like they deserve to be treated. After years of understanding that this message and this book were really an opportunity for them to come home to themselves, and could then be an opportunity for other people to come home to themselves, going through this kind of mechanical transactional process with people who didn't really care, was really rough on them. And it was really rough on me in the background. Not just because I was jumping into, work on book covers and interior designs and all the things that didn't work for their message, but emotionally just watching them really have to deal with unnecessary suffering. And so, of course, Aaron saw all of this. He was in on one of the big publishing contracts that we were helping an author get ready for, getting her business ready for. And he saw what happened and he was like, Mom, we just need to create a place. Like, we need to create a publishing house where people can go through this process and be treated with the same level of care that they have been treated through the process of writing their book and healing their story at True to Intention. And so we created Saved by Story, and we launched a religion of story, which kind of tells the whole basis for why story is even a thing in my world, why it's an important thing for my son, raising him, and literally gave him all of the tools and confidence that he needed to hear me say, well, I can't do that by myself, create a publishing house. And he went along and rallied six other partners, in addition to him and I. And so we have 8 partners at Saved by Story, all of whom have been through this writing and healing process at one level or another, most who have gone through the publishing process. And so we're creating this extension of this beautiful community so that people can go from inspiration to impact. And it's just been an amazing journey. And last year, something really remarkable happened. I had the opportunity to work on a project that I knew when I read the outline without any character development, without any scene development, nothing that would have really connected with my emotions. It was just the story itself. And there was such truth in it. And there was such medicine in it for me that I cried my way through the outline and told the author, like, yes, I definitely want to work on this. I have no idea how we're going to write this much content in 6 months like you planned, but let's go for it. And we did, and it was like 1,500 pages in 6 months. And so I was like not just immersed in this story, but of course, just like I see happen with all of my clients, the world starts to move around them in a way that looks a little bit like the story that they're working on, and has them dealing with similar themes and has them dealing with similar conflicts. And so all these things were happening at the beginning of last year. And then we came to these two scenes, these two like make or break scenes in the book. Like if these scenes didn't like really do what I knew they could, we were gonna kind of do a disservice to the entire saga. And so I got the opportunity to do a lot of writing partnership on this one. And so I was working on this scene, trying to develop it and pull the details apart and get it to be a little bit more sensory and a little bit more emotional and a little bit. And something happened. I was in the scene, and I wasn't just in that scene. I was all the characters in the scene, and I wasn't just all the characters in the scene. I was also in a scene that happened when I was around 7 years old in my own story. And so I got to see my scene and my story that had created such pain and such limiting beliefs and stories in me that had kept me from being able to feel like I could connect with people, like I was worth anything more than being a tool. And I got this opportunity to see the story from all the different perspectives, and it changed everything for me. Um, these two scenes moved a story out of the way so that that little human that I was, that really beautiful, sweet soul that I was, that got limited and crushed by story, got to come back. And she got to play not just on the big stages and the retreats that where she would come out to play all the time, and people would be like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. And I go back to my life and I would struggle to feel that way, to feel that connected, to feel that alive. And she came all the way back to me because of story, because of being in community and being able to talk about it with the people that knew me and my story and were able to reflect things back to me. I mean, and the writing, the opportunity. And so this amazing healing happened last year, and everything changed. And after about 6 months of being in this really strange, like, what does this mean for the rest of my life? I realized that true to intention had served its purpose. I think my little 7-year-old created true to intention in order to have me go on this journey of working through all of these messages and engaging all of these messengers and digging up my own unconscious stories and being able to see the wounds and being community that is so safe and so kind. Maybe it was just for that. And we also create a bunch of amazing books, and we also have this beautiful community. So here's what we're doing. The big announcement is True to Intention is just like a caterpillar. It's all cocooned up, it's being dissolved, and then it's being reintegrated and reorganized into Saved by Story. And so from now on, when people want to come and work on content, or they want to come and save their own story through writing, through community, through, you know, being in stories with us, they can come to Saved by Story, and we will be supporting them from inspiration to impact at Saved by Story. And so there it is, the big announcement. True to Intention is dissolving, and being reintegrated into Saved by Story. And so I want to thank all of you who have been part of this journey. What happened last year wouldn't have happened without every single character who entered my story, without every single um, plot twist that happened, the beautiful and the horrific. Like, it was all perfect. And so I just want to thank you for being on this journey with me. I want to invite you into the next chapter with me. Come check out the new Saved by Story website, savedbystory.house. It is stunning. Some of Alyssa's absolute best work that I've ever seen. Look around and see if there's something for you or if there's something for a friend that you know. But also pay attention, because the other part of this transformation is that the Story Oracle has become the next chapter for me. So I'll still be working in Saved by Story. I'll still be helping people with content and branding and doing all of that work with allies helping me. And I'm also going to focus on speaking and facilitating as a large part of my work in the world, because this story of what has been happening here, the tools that I have acquired, the skills, like all of it, I just want every single person on the planet to have the opportunity that story and writing and community can give them to go back and heal the things that need to be healed, save the parts that need to be saved, and move into their next chapters more powerfully. We have work to do. We have work to do. We need to repair the world together. And in order to do that, we need to repair ourselves first. And so that's the invitation. Come play in whatever way you want to, or don't. Just watch the journey. And yeah, thanks again. That's it.